Hi Sagittarius, this is Amanda Narduzzi. Thanks for joining me here. This reading is going to be for May 13th to May 19th. If this resonates with you in any way, go ahead, like and subscribe and all the things. I post weeklies, collectives, and all the stuff in between. That being said, let's just get into your intuitive channel with tarot and oracle. So drop into your heart space. Let the dust spiritually, physically, and emotionally settle around and within you so that you can determine which messages are for you, which messages are for others. I will tune into my archangels, spirit guides, angel team to see what we can get for our Sagittarius collective that is for the highest empowerment, their highest good. Let's guide them with love. Sagittarius. Okay, that's... Oh, you got two coming out. Okay. Awesome. All right. So you're moving forward in something, but it looks, the path ahead looks unknown. It's almost like you're using your intuition to guide you at this time because you have yin and you have to the sea. So we're going to actually, I'm going to pull some more oracle cards and then we're going to go into each oracle card or oracle combination. And we will look at the tarot, so like the implications or the details, any extra messages that are involved. Yin is a card of receiving. It is the act of not sitting still or resting or doing nothing, but yin is, it's almost like the subtle art of flow. So yang is very action, direct. We are creating our intention. We are bringing it to the reality and we are hardcore going, right? But yin is the act of going with the flow. It's relying on our intuition to make our moves. It is settling into our intuition so we can feel what is next. And when paired with to the sea, this card talks about not having a map and not knowing where you're going, but going out on a new adventure, or like not knowing what your next steps are going to look like. So let's see what other oracle cards are going on for you in this message, Sagittarius. Path ahead is unclear, but that's okay. This next segment, so this is kind of giving echoes of the yin card, but listening. So this is listening to, I'm hearing like there's maybe some fine tuning you may have to do with your intuition, or like this can look like maybe getting grounded because intuition speaks to us through the body. So the more in touch we are with our bodies, the more we can feel our intuition acting through us, so we can figure out which opportunities are good for us, which may not be the path to go on. But listening to the voice of your soul and your heart, however you do this. If you already have an established relationship with how you connect with your intuition, if that's going out in nature, if that's like getting lost in songs or poetry, or even if you're just getting in the zone and you feel like you get your channeling from, or your downloads or intuitive inspirations from, you know, looking at card readers online or doing the dishes or taking a shower, you know, something mundane or something where you're just passively taking it in and then going, oh my gosh, my intuition just spoke loud and clear. I feel like that message is for me. So that being said, however you fine-tune your intuition, it's almost like getting grounded is important so that you can listen to the echoes of your soul to figure out what your next steps are. And again, we'll look at each individual card. You have Spirit Fox. Trust your talents in changing times. So this could be the Fox Spirit thinks on his feet a lot. So changing times, or maybe you might have to adapt. Maybe you might have to do the little dance as life changes around you. You might have to do a little jig. I see you... The difference between chaotically throwing your hands up and going, ah, with challenges, it can very easily be flipped on its head if you have trust. You'll still have to do those dancing motions to try to figure out where spirit is pivoting you as things are changing around you. But with a change in attitude, it can go from a frantic wing flapping to a graceful dance as you're trying to figure it out. Because the attitude change would be... the root of it is trusting in spirit. And once you start trusting in spirit, that frantic, desperate energy of, oh my gosh, I have to know what happens, it's kind of centered out of control. That energy changes to more trusting and understanding that it's almost like you need to get centered. You need to reorient yourself. That just keeps coming through, is that you need to get like centered and reoriented and trusting yourself more, that you're on the right path, that you're making the right choice. And if you feel the need to wait instead of jumping the gun on something, or if you feel the need to go and not wait for like another opportunity, whatever the case may be, whatever your path looks like, whatever, I do feel like we're struggling to manifest something that we desire here, especially because it almost seems like, I wouldn't say it's rapidly changing, I just get a sense that the energy around you is shifting and that things are changing, things are coming, things are going. And it's hard for you to like grab onto a specific energy, Sagittarius. So let's pull the rest of your tarot spread because I want to see the relationship relationships between some of these cards. So at the core of your reading, at the very core in the center, all your tarot cards, this is below the listening card. So this isn't the most important thing, is tuning into your intuition, falling into that grounded space and trusting yourself. The most important thing here is the Sire of Wands. This is the core of your whole reading. This is needing the confidence to stand your ground. So if you know that you are like, this is in terms of making your choice, and it's almost like there are stipulations here. So like standing up for what you are worth, or knowing that there are certain things that you are and are not willing to do. There's something about being grounded and confident in what you have chosen for yourself. So this does feel like a worth thing of me feeling worthy enough, for example. So like me feeling worthy enough to stand your ground and fight for the things that you need, or fight for what your next steps are going to look like. And it's almost like, again, I sense different opportunities around. There are different ways that this could take form, but know what you want, know what you need, and stand in that, right? Let's also just keep going on the listening, because we're in that area already. We're in that column. You have this Seven of Swords. So fear, it's almost like confidence may escape you due to fear. This is where the Seven of Swords comes up, because it's almost like some people are being dishonest. Some people might be being sneaky. You might even be kind of sneaking a little bit yourself, because you're not being 100% open and authentic either with yourself or someone else. But again, that's what being grounded would help you get situated with. So getting grounded and listening to the voice of your soul will help you kind of not go on the creep, if that makes sense. And it could help, like when you bring your most authentic self forward, it helps attract more opportunities. So manage yourself the way that manage yourself in your energy, the way that you intuitively feel called, so that you can call in the right path. I'm getting there's a direction for you. I'm getting that there's like a specific, not that it's set and like, but I feel like there is an opportunity out there that's very aligned with you, that is coming in. It's it's something that blesses you, Sagittarius. It's something that could bless you. But it's almost like you need to have a little bit of sense of trust in the universe to get there. And they don't want you they don't want you jumping the gun before that opportunity comes in, right? So it's a big deal if that's going to be relying on your confidence to stand your ground, not waiting for it to come in. You're still putting the energy out there. You're still looking for opportunities, but you're not rushing things. You're not completely stopping and waiting for something. You're actively managing your time so that you are not hyper-focused and trying to be in control, and just letting it come to you. But this is a question of authenticity. So and if you sense other people or other situations being dishonest with you, try not to entertain them, because again, you want an environment, you want an opportunity or an energy that reflects your authenticity. So if you bring your full self forward, expect others to do the same, because that'll get you on an even playing field. So for wherever it is that you're going, and whatever it is that you want to create, make sure that you guys are on like an even playing field. Right? So we have Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles is about I'm hearing that there are different ships you can ride. There are plenty of waters for you to explore in the sea, and it is just a matter of where you feel most comfortable. Do you want something with high risk, high reward? Do you want to go weather the storms and have the boat rocked a little bit? It would be challenging, but it would give you a higher reward. Would you like to, get in your canoe and just paddle across the stream for a little bit and then just hoist your canoe up? And then I don't know, I'm just getting images of different things that you can do, Sagittarius. I'm getting somebody floating down the river on a canoe, and then once they reach a destination, picking up that canoe, taking it to the next water, and then throwing it down. I'm also getting for you, even if it's going out on a slightly bigger boat, like a medium boat or something, and then just having the option to switch to a different boat. There's some type of it's almost like a ferry situation of traveling from one land to the next, as almost like a temporary thing. So I'm not sure exactly what we're talking about here, but these are the images that I'm getting. So apply to it as you see fit. But there does feel like a lot of options for you. And again, I do feel like there's one in particular that would shine close to your heart, but I feel like it would come in and it's one of those things intuitively you would recognize as, oh snap, this is perfect, but it's almost stay open to what's coming in, because the Knights are always on a mission regardless of what suit they're in. The Pentacles is about material, so it's almost like you're on a mission to obtain something material here, and I do sense that you are going to get it. It's just a matter of waiting for the right time, still putting the energy out there, still things are still in motion. You have a very kind of go-getting attitude right now, so again, just make sure that you don't rush, okay? Or even if you're trying to operate and move around out of fear just to fix a situation, try to dial back a little bit, okay? Let's go back to Yin into the sea. Let's talk about the tarot cards in relation to that. You have the Queen of Cups, you have Fortune's Wheel, and you have the Shaman, which is basically the magician in the traditional tarot. When you have the Queen of Cups, this indicates a need for discernment. So again, this is like recognizing intuitively what's better for you. I feel like some options may be better for you than others, and you know that. And it's almost like, well, I'm holding out for the best one, the best possible one. Just expect it. I do feel some flexibility might be needed, especially with the Spirit Fox here. We'll get into that in a second. But again, following your intuition, and intuition will speak to you moment to moment. It might not give you reassurance that something will happen in the future, because energy is constantly changing, but your intuition gives you what is needed moment to moment. So just trust that, you know, operate with discernment and see, like, you know, how does this impact your long-term goals? How does this serve you in the short term? How does it serve you in the long term? What are your options for moving forward? This does feel like steady work. So for some of you, this could be a career move you're making. For others, you could be working on a passion project that you're trying to grow from scratch. Either way, regardless of where this falls, because it could be even a relationship as well. Like I said, it's a very general reading, so it's not meant to be specific. Apply it to where you see fit. But the Queen of Cups looks with discernment. She doesn't recognize the cup itself and the details, so she doesn't recognize, she sees how people present themselves, how situations present themselves, but she understands that it's the very essence, that she's looking at the spirit coming out of the cup, not the cup itself. So a lot of people, you know, they might not be as in touch with their intuition. We all have it, but it's almost like you have maybe a sharper intuition than most. So you can see the essence of the situation and not just how they present themselves. So trust yourself and have that discernment. If something feels off, make sure to back up from it. Fortune's Wheel. So the energy you put in is the energy that you get out. So this is the this is the Wheel of Fortune, I'm sorry. This is the Wheel of Fortune in the traditional tarot. It's called Fortune's Wheel in the Tarot Dragons deck. And Fortune's Wheel talks about how, I'm hearing like everything is happening in a loop too. There's a cycle that's almost completing here. Like this is an interesting, interesting. This is like an interesting message that's being channeled through. It's like, it's almost like you've been struggling with something like this for a while, or you've met this situation before in different contexts. And you've approached it differently and more confidently every time. And now I feel like this is a challenge for you to stand your ground now, when as before you might have shaken and went with a path that maybe wasn't 100% aligned with you, just out of the pressure or out of the need to fix the situation immediately or control it in some way. So I do feel like now is like a greater opportunity for you to stand your ground, and it's almost like you are more willing to do that. You're more willing to fight for yourself, fight for your worth, fight for the opportunities that align better with your soul. But it's almost like I'm actually like, it's interesting because I'm seeing, like, when I see this card, usually there's obviously the basic meaning, what you put in is what you get out, but I'm also seeing the loop, and it's almost like the loop it stops spinning around, and it's almost like wrapping around and coming. It's almost like the spiral is like connecting and making a complete circle, and then it's shining very brightly, almost like, aha, we've completed this segment of, you know, something else. Almost feels like a lifelong challenge or like a cycle that you kept repeating, and now that it's almost like you've learned something from it, and it's being closed. It's going to be closed. It's in your past now, and it's almost like it shines this ring of light of, you know, yes, I will stand my ground. No, I'm not going to take absolutely anything because I have very specific needs, or I have very specific things that I'm looking for. Or it's almost like, you know, I do feel like some of you are like, if this is a career too, I do feel like some of you could be switching industries completely. And this is one of those like risks or leaps of faith that you're taking. But again, very specific for only some of you. But some of you could have been just sticking in the same industry because it was the easiest thing that you could get. And I'm hearing like it was fun while it lasted, but going into this new segment, actually taking the leap and going to this new thing, it almost completes that cycle and is like, okay, now you have learned, because you can, you know, life will be better if you take this other option, you know? And I know we have that mentality, oh, the grass is always green on the other side, but it's almost like you see more opportunity. It feels better to do the other industry or something, and you're moving into that, right? But either way, regardless of how this applies to you, you have the shaman, which is basically the magician in the traditional tarot. This is somebody who has a lot of resources available, making manifestations. So watch your intentions at this time. Watch with the things that you make sure that you are intending and then putting in the energy to create. So make sure you're actively going out and looking for opportunities. Like, make sure you are actively exploring things. What this Knight of Pentacles is all about is exploring, guys. So make sure that you're going out and you're exploring the opportunities. If you're not sure if things are, you know, things are challenging, things are changing, right? So making sure that you're exploring your options and acting quickly like the fox, because I feel like some of these opportunities won't be sticking for very long, right? So big manifesting energy, just keep your intentions in the highest, keep your hopes in the highest, and you know, try to stand your ground for as long as you can, for as long as you are able or willing, because it's almost like spirits, like something's coming, right? You have the Nine of Wands. Some of you could be, okay, I'm actually getting some hurt from the past. Maybe you've been hurt because you felt that you were, it's almost like it was just a weird time to stand up for yourself, or it was a weird time to, I don't know. I'm getting like that maybe the energy just wasn't quite there. I don't know if you weren't ready or if other people just really did not receive it well, but it's almost like when you've tried to make these changes before, you've been hurt as a consequence. But the Nine of Wands indicates caution because of it. And some of you, because you have to act fast like the fox does, you have to think quickly on your feet. This Nine of Wands may slow you down a little bit because some of you may be paused. Like I'm getting big hesitation. I'm getting hesitation when it comes to potentially taking the next opportunity because you're like, okay, well, is this it? Is this it? And it's like, I see a lot of mind energy kind of going back and forth. Just understand that you cannot choose wrong here, okay? You cannot choose wrong when it comes to, you know, I mean, even if it's like stepping into a new industry and you're like, oh my gosh, well, it's not the pay that I'm looking for, but it could give me the experience to get me something higher, you know? And it's like, okay, well, this is still better than where I'm at, and this feels good. That's when you would take it, but there would be a lot of thought energy of, oh my gosh, like, but, you know, I'm a little bit worried or concerned about, you know, what it is, like, you know, I was expecting like the best of the best. And it's one of those things where it's like, you know, be open, be flexible, and adapt to your circumstances, but at the same time, try to stand your ground and fight for more than what you have now, right? And the Queen of Wands is about that confidence. So having the confidence in yourself to fight for what you're worth, having the confidence to stand your ground. This is going to be very encouraging. It might be a little challenging, but like Spirit's encouraging you to like, yes, you're adapting, but you're still fighting for yourself in the meantime. So I know in challenging times, we often compress. I'm getting the word compress, like you're compressing yourself, or you've compressed yourself, or you kept yourself small to be likable, to take certain opportunities. And again, this is why I feel like it's like hardcore job. It doesn't have to be a career job for you guys. This could be just in relationships too, where you're like trying to navigate romance life. And, you know, you could be just introduced with a lot of options coming up, a lot of different opportunities to date different people, and just feeling just generally guarded because you've been hurt before. But regardless of what the case may be, something is coming your way. The Nine of Cups talks about wish fulfillment. So even if you say, the important thing is that you say yes to something, that you experience something, because even if you're not 100% sure, go with what feels the best, because then when you are, like, it's almost like I'm getting that you're angry with yourself too for decisions you've made in the past, and Spirit's like, but you've learned from it, and you already know now that you've experienced it to not choose that again. So when you are exploring new things, sometimes we hesitate because we don't want to make a decision, we don't want to take on an opportunity that we would get angry at ourselves about later and be like, oh my gosh, I should not have picked that. If only I would have known. And this is where not only you have to exercise forgiveness and understanding towards yourself for having all of the having the knowledge that you had at the time, but usually we take on things not by accident, but our intuition guides us, even with all the signs and synchronicities, and something doesn't work out. It's because there was something to be learned from that situation. There was some type of spiritual growth to happen. It was our energy attracting something energetically out there. We're bringing it into our field of vision, and then when we experience it, you know, yeah, we have our feelings, yes, we have to process them, but in the end, it's not something to stay mad or angry about, because it is something that has changed our energy, and we have learned and grown from it. And now we can sense that our intuition, it's almost like we get a little bit more fed up with picking these things, and our responses change, and that's when our energy recalibrates, because there is no conflict as to what our heart wants and what our heart is guiding us to do versus what we are thinking, right? Because we are starting to match that energy, and we're starting to match those two energies, and things that come to us are a little bit more aligned. Sorry, the sun went away. It's very cloudy in my city right now. But anyway, I see wish fulfillment coming in for you. It's almost like they might not fill up all of your cups right away. They might not it might not like tack every one of your boxes, and that's okay. You still learn, so that way you can almost like keep up in the future. So when more opportunities come, when you have the opportunity to, I guess, not to sound redundant, but move on from this opportunity. I'm saying opportunity a lot, but I do feel that there's something here. So if there was a doubt that, you know, there's no opportunities coming, please be reassured that there is something, so long as you keep putting in the energy. You know, the energy you put in is the energy you get out, right? So that being said, keep trying, keep going. stand strong in your confidence. Try not to be as guarded, because you're going to have to be a little bit flexible and kind of like do the little dance with spirit, you know, to try to achieve the thing that you want. The Nine of Cups, I keep drawing back to that because, you know, again, not all your boxes may be tacked, but you still have some of the cups filled. And we are constantly on this journey of life of, you know, like our wants and needs change over time. And, you know, the things that we want aren't always within our grasp right away. It's still important to just say yes to something, to keep trying, to keep learning and growing so that we can eventually get to where we want to go. Strength, intuition, and downloads. So I love that this is falling in the yin column and to the C column, because this, we just talked about falling into your intuition. A strength that you have is receiving guidance at this time, either through, you know, tarot readings on YouTube, through this one, or, you know, through another reader, or if you are, even my collective messages too, for whatever reason, collective message popped up in mine. So if there's a collective message coming up, which there is shortly, you may be interested in looking at that, Sagittarius. But however you receive your downloads, that's like a strength you're having at this time, is you're understanding, oh snap, I know what it is that I need to do. What's coming up from the heart is blessings and abundance. So this is recognizing the abundance around you, recognizing how blessed you are in the moment. And it's almost like I'm hearing that, you know, recognizing how blessed you will be, because it's almost like there is a significant amount of trust that you have in the universe. Even if you're feeling like there are moments of fear, I still feel like overall in your energy it feels like I trust the universe. I am standing, that's why you're standing your ground, or that's why you're able to stand your ground, is because you know that spirit's going to be there for you. You know that they're going to pivot you when necessary. You know that you're kind of, it's almost like it does feel more of an even co-creation with them. It's like understanding that, okay, the exact thing that I want, we're working towards it together. It's not that the universe is against me and I'm not trying to go against the universe. We are working together. This is what I want. It might be a challenge to accept some opportunities, but whatever comes my way, whatever feels the best, I'm going to take it and explore it. And it's that feeling of blessing and abundance that comes with it. Knowing that spirit has your back, that's something that you would feel coming up from the heart at this time. And then the challenge is courage and bravery. So again, having the courage to stand your ground. I keep hearing like stand your ground, that's just the consistent messages coming through. So sometimes the message is very basic like that, and there's really no need to expand on it further. But this is a lot of you, like, you might have exhibited areas of vulnerability when it comes to this, when it comes to stating what you want. Maybe you've come from the past of being a people pleaser, or just saying yes when you really meant no. And, you know, standing your ground may be a little bit hard for you, but this is where that challenge is, where like having the courage to face that, having the courage to step up and say, no, this is what I want. This is what I'm worth. These are the opportunities that I am looking for. And I'm not worried about what anybody else says or what anybody else does. I'm also hearing like what everybody else does to achieve this. You might actually be going I'm getting for some of you, a specific few of you, that you might be going in a different direction to achieve something than most people do. And that might draw in some criticisms from other people. And that's just one of the things that spirit wants you to put up the hand. I do see like a talk to the hand type of thing. And as I'm saying that, I'm hearing a ring in my ear. Like it sounds kind of like a bell. They're like, yes. So like, that almost seems like a very important thing for some of you, is like they want you to put up the hand and go like a talk to the hand, like wave them away. Don't even bother with them. For your angel numbers, you have 913. I'm pulling from Angel Numbers by Kyle Gray. You are being encouraged by your angels to trust in the messages and soul-based information coming through to you at this time, guys, with this intuition and downloads card, the strength of yours. One more time. Always say it twice. You are being encouraged by your angels to trust in the messages and soul-based information coming to you at this time. You are being loved, guided, and supported. And this is something that if you're tuning into this message, you would know. Like you have an inner knowing. You have this knowing. We might be reluctant in our egos. We might be reluctant to receive the information because it's either something like a very challenging thing we have to accept, or it's something that we might not be ready to embrace yet, but it's sitting there and you know it and it's ready for you. And I'm hearing like it'll catch up. Your intuition will catch up to your body. If it's something you haven't received yet, or something that you haven't fully melded into your energy yet, trust that it's coming. I do see that syncing up happening for you, Sagittarius. That being said, that was your reading. I hope it helped. If this resonated, as I said before, go like and subscribe. I post a bunch of other stuff here. Follow me on my socials down below, because I teach tarot there too. And I also offer personal readings on amandanardozzi.com. That being said, I think that was everything. I love you, I love you, I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.